it's John from WhatUp. Welcome back to another video, and today we're talking Season 3 news. Yes, I've been away for a few weeks, but I am back now, so I'm going to make a video on all the news that I missed in the last 3.5, 4 weeks I've been away, and there's a lot, so this is probably going to be a long video because there's a ton of stuff I want to cover today, and a lot of it ties into the fact that I released a video about 2 months ago, maybe more now, talking about when I was told the release time frame would be for Season 3 of The Wheel of Time. This just cements all that. Plus, I've heard from a ton of other people behind the scenes about when the release date is going to be, and it lines up perfectly with the time frame I was given, as well as they're all matching each other. So I'm pretty sure I know when this thing is going to release. We'll talk about that in today's video too. So we're going to cover all kinds of stuff today, from press releases to interviews to screenings to trailers to Comic-Cons to castings, all kinds of stuff, things that I think are coming or we know are coming in the next few months for the Wheel of Time. We're going to talk about all of that today and all the things that I and maybe some of you have missed in the last couple of weeks as well. So if you're new to the channel, you don't know what we do here, we talk Wheel of Time all the time. If you like that sort of thing, subscribe to the channel. Of course, click the like button. I do have a personal goal of trying to hit 25,000 subscribers prior to the release of Season 3, and we're talking spring next year. So we only have a couple of months left, folks. Terrible at selling the channel. I'm really not that great at social media either, but with your help, I'm sure we can get there, and I want to thank you all in advance for that, because you've been great about kind of advertising for me in when I haven't. So there's that. Now, before we get into the video, I do want to mention something. Normally my videos are pretty spoiler heavy. It's just the nature of the channel. It's what I do. I talk about things. I give high level spoilers because I tend to let things slip during a video. And over the last couple of years, most people who watch the channel have all said they like that sort of thing, because a lot of people that do watch WhatUp are like me. They like spoilers, like knowing things before it happens. That's part of the reason why leaks and whatnot work here, is because it's what I enjoy, and I have found other people that enjoy that as well. That is to say that not everyone does enjoy it, though. I've had a number of messages, DMs, emails asking for more spoiler-free videos. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to have at least a portion of my videos be spoiler-free from now on, and then we'll jump into the spoilery stuff later. So the first part of this video will be completely spoiler-free. I'm not going to dive into any plot points or character arcs. And then near the end of the video, when we talk about the castings and all the news is done, that's when I'll give the spoiler warning. You'll see the big red hand show up, and we will dive into all of the conjecture, I guess, at that point, and talking about the story and the character arcs and how things are going to change with certain characters in the show. We'll get into that near the end of the video. Like I said, buckle up. It's going to be a long one. It's been a while since I've done a video, and I'm just happy to be back. So I may ramble a bit here and there. So first off, I want to start by saying that we're pretty close to the release of Season 3 of The Wheel of Time. A couple months ago into that video, I said a March-April time frame is what I was told to book off time for. I keep hearing over and over and over again, March, 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 with a specific date in mind as well. And I'm hearing it from multiple different people. So here's the thing. I was asked not to share the date, but I was told March by more than one person, and they're all independent of one another. So I'm pretty confident we're going to get Season 3 in March, especially considering all of the new marketing and things that are going on that we're going to talk about in today's video. Generally, about 6 months prior to the release of a season, the fan accounts, well, not fan accounts, that's a bad word, the fandom account will pick up on Twitter, and we'll start talking on Twitter and start to interact with the fandom. And that started to happen. So the Twitter of Time main account, the Twiiter of Chaos, has actually come on Twitter and has started interacting with the fandom again. And we're about 6 months out from March-ish. So that makes about sense to me. However, I do know that a lot of people have left Twitter, and there's been a kind of a mass exodus. The fan base on Twitter is a lot smaller than it used to be. Now, granted, Twitter is still a huge platform. There's still millions and millions and millions of people on Twitter right now. However, it is not exactly the great place it used to be. There's a lot of ads. There's a lot of different undesirable elements, I guess you'd say, that are just kind of run rampant. So it's not super fun to be on Twitter for the most part. However, in the bubble of Twitter time, the fandom there is still mostly really great. There's still a lot of great people there. And I'll tell you folks, I will stay on Twitter so long as all the main accounts keep posting on Twitter. And by main, I mean the Sony and Amazon accounts and the Twiiter of Chaos, the Wheel of Time official account. As long as they're there sharing things, I'll be on Twitter, just kind of relay some of that stuff to you folks. But I have also opened a Blue Sky account. So this was when I first opened it. I have a few more followers now, and I follow more than one person. But this is where I'm at now. So I, in addition to my Facebook and my Reddit account and my Instagram and my Twitter, I'm also on Blue Sky, and I super thoroughly enjoy Blue Sky. If you folks don't already have it, I would highly recommend you go over there. It's just like Twitter used to be, if that makes any sense. It's a whole lot of fun, and there are a bunch of Wheel of Time fans on there as well. There is a small fandom. It's growing. It's not near as big as Twitter was or ever was, really. However, there's a lot of Wheel of Time people there, and I'm having a great time interacting with them. So if you have Blue Sky, or if you don't have it, you're going to get it. That's my Blue Sky there. Please follow me over on Blue Sky. Great social media platform. All right, so let's talk about some things that are happening in the Wheel of Time world. So Yoshi Stradowski recently posted this on Instagram in a story, and he said he's in London doing WOTPress. What? Yes, he's in London. Over the last couple of weeks, a lot of people have been seeing the production team, some of the crew, and a lot of the cast in and about London. Now, a couple of people here and there, you could probably say it's a coincidence. A few more people showing up. Well, maybe they're having a kind of a get-together. But with this many people from the Wheel of Time in that city in one spot, it begs the question what's going on. And with Yoshi Stradowski, who plays Randall Thor in the series, saying that he's in London for press, well, people are putting two and two together, and they're like, now's the time. Because if we have a March release date of the Wheel of Time, generally Amazon 3 to 4 months prior to the release of shows when they pick up their marketing. That's when they really start to do it. They may start interacting on the fandom accounts prior to that, like at 6 months mark, but about 3 or 4 months is when they really start to drop things. So we'll see a trailer, see, well, a teaser first and then a trailer later. We'll see interviews, we'll see press, we'll see images, billboards, things like that. Now, I have been incredibly critical of the Wheel of Time marketing campaign on my channel for 5 years. The channel's been active for 5 years. I have very few terrible things to say about the show. That's one of them. Marketing has just been abysmal for the show, as far as I'm concerned anyway. However, I have been told that the new marketing team this year, and yes, I'm saying new marketing team, they basically kind of changed guards. This new marketing team for the Wheel of Time are much better than the old ones. They're much more committed. I've heard that they are fans, which is a big thing. That makes me happy. And I've heard that they're going to try to make things better than have been. Now, the bar hasn't been set very high by marketing the last couple of years. And I've also been told they're not going to be giving much more money than they've been given the last couple of years, either for marketing. It's going to be about the same budget as we had for season 2 and season 1 for marketing, but not anymore for sure. But the fact that they care and they're going to try to market this a bit better, I have hope. I'm hoping that it'll get marketed more, hoping more people will put eyes on this, because season 3's going to be amazing from everything I've seen, and I want everyone to see it. Even people who hate the show and hate the idea of the show, they need to come back for season 3. They really do. It's a big claim on my part, but from what I've seen, I think even hardcore book fans who really dislike the show and the changes so far are going to be very impressed with certain elements of season 3. Some things are changed, of course, still from what I have been read into, but there's a lot of stuff that is pretty spot on and it's pretty amazing. So there's that. So Yoshi's doing press. They're starting marketing now. Now, why would they be starting press now if they're going to release in March 6 months out? Well, they record a lot of the stuff, or they do the interviews ahead of time. So they're there to do press, they're there doing different things, but doesn't necessarily mean we're going to start getting interviews next week. I would say that we're likely going to start seeing the interviews and stuff in and around the last week of November, first week of December, because of a certain con that we're going to talk about later on in the video that is happening in December, where they're going to drop a bunch of stuff. And I think I know some of the things they're going to drop, and we'll talk about that too. So, in addition to Yoshi Stradowski saying that he's in London doing press and seeing a lot of the cast, the crew, the production team on different social media platforms, tagging each other in pictures, going out to dinner, things like that, a couple of these things have popped up. So, I purposely cropped out the name on these Instagram accounts. A lot of the hardcore fans will probably know who owns these accounts immediately. And it's public and posted on Instagram, but still, it's one of those things that I'm going to leave the names out. These are members of the production team and or crew, as well as some cast that are posting these things. So they're posting the wheel we use is Wheel Wheels bracelets. So here's another one right here. This is a better look at it. Really cool. If any of you out there have one of these that has been to this event, and we'll talk about this event in a second, I want one of these bracelets. To be fair, I want anything. Give me something from the set. I don't care. So we don't know what this is from. We have really no idea. That there's not been a whole lot of amplifying information on what these bracelets are, but generally Bracelets like this are what you get when you go to a water park, you go to a festival, you go to a bar, you go to a concert. You get something like this to show that you're supposed to be there. I'm going to bet dollars to donuts this is for screenings of the show, because the last I've heard is that most of, and I'm not saying all because I haven't heard about every single VFX company that works in the show, but most of the VFX companies that do work in the show are essentially kind of mostly done for season 3. They mostly finished their product. A couple of them are done for sure. Some of the ones I've heard from were sort of done a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't gotten any new information, so I can't tell you for sure if they're done. And there's others that I heard nothing about. But if some of the companies are done, you're looking at probably having screenable material. So they generally do screens for the cast, crew, and production. And in fact, we've seen these things when they screen sizzle reels and they've screened parts of the show, when people have taken video and posted it on Instagram or posted it on social media, and it kind of went wild for season 2 and season 1. We have not seen any video yet for season 3, as far as I'm aware, from any screenings. However, I would bet that these are probably from screenings. So if they're doing press in London, if there was screenings for the cast and crew, if that's what this is, and it may not be, and if someone knows better, please let me know in the comments down below. It all points towards a very soon release. And I'm pretty excited about that because, I mean, we're only a few months out from season 3. It's supposed to be really, really cool. So there's that. And that leads us right into this. This is when I think most of the stuff is going to happen. So CCXP is a massive con in Brazil. It happens every year. The Wheel of Time had presence there at season 2, a big presence. In fact, they announced Avienda. They announced Elaine Tracan. They announced a bunch of stuff. They showed some clips from the show. They showed a trailer. They had a bunch of cast members come on stage and do interviews. It was a huge presence for season 2. And it was a year prior to season 2 coming out. Well, the year before. Now, I had heard months ago that they were likely going to be at CCXP this year, that they weren't going to make the New York or San Diego Comic-Cons, but CCXP would be a thing. And we now have confirmation of that. 7th of December, we're going to see Rafe Judkins, the showrunner, Yosha Stradowski, the man who plays Randall Thor, the dragon, and Egwene Alvear, played by Madeline Madden, on stage at CCXP. Now, I have been kind of read into the fact that there's going to be multiple things that were kind of on the docket, but I don't know what's confirmed and what's really not. But here's what I've heard. I've heard that we're likely to get some castings. Probably the Andoran castings and probably the Aiel castings. And I won't get too much into those because I won't ruin plot points of the story. I promise no spoilers video. But there are elements of season 3 that deal with the Andor people and Andor storylines and the Aiel storylines, and there are some fairly big characters from both those storylines that are showing up in season 3, which we'll talk about in the spoiler part of the video. But my guess is they're likely going to announce them then, mainly because those castings, some of them are out there right now. I haven't reported on them because I've been asked not to, but they are there. I've also been told we're likely to expect a trailer either at CCXP or just before. My guess is probably just before, maybe a week prior, we'll get the teaser trailer. Teaser trailer is likely to drop first. It's my guess anyway. We may get it at CCXP, but I've been told it might be even sooner than that. And I've also been told that they're likely going to showcase a substantial chunk of one of the episodes, probably the first episode, during CCXP. Now, will this be streamed? I don't know. So I bought my virtual ticket. I'm going to be watching that weekend. I am home that weekend, which is a good thing. And I will be attempting to make videos on everything that happens there. And if there is actual footage, my guess is they probably won't stream it or show it. They'll just show it to the audience there. But if there is footage and they do stream it, we'll talk about it here on the channel, and we'll get descriptions for you folks at the very least. So there's that. So pretty excited about CCXP, and we'll talk more about who I think they're going to reveal in the spoiler part of the section, spoiler part of the video. All right, so next up we're talking about this. This was posted to Twitter by Darkhound or Robert. I'll link to his actual Twitter handle down below if you folks want to check it out and follow him. But he had the chance to interview Alexander Krim at Stockholm Comic Con, and he asked him some things about season 3. So he said he was busy filming Gladiator 2 during the filming for season 3, so he wasn't actually on set, but he got to do some of the parts remotely. He confirmed he's doing voices inside Rand's head and some inner monologue. Again, we're going to dive more into that during the spoiler part of the video because there's some things I want to talk about there that'll ruin plot points and character arcs, but very neat to see, and without any spoilers or context to what that means, It is, in my opinion, something that they really needed to do, and I'm happy that they're going to do for the show. And again, yeah, really neat little tidbit there, and I'm very happy that they were actually able to talk about that. Now we're going to talk about a couple of castings, and then we're going to talk about something that a Blue Sky user actually saw on site at the Two Rivers site where they filmed, including pictures. Just a few weeks ago at MalcureCon, or well, more than a few weeks, I guess. But they posted the pictures and they gave permission to use them, and we'll talk just about that in a second. But first, we're talking about some castings. These castings come to us from WOTSERIES.com. So I've left links to both articles down below in the description box. So we have two different castings. First one is for Cameron Jack. This gentleman right here. He is a Scottish actor. He's been acting since 1995, and he's been in a ton of different things. I mean, the man has a CV. It's huge. He's been in a ton of different stuff. You might recognize him from The Dark Knight Rises or Wrath of Man. He had small parts in both those shows. But he most recently was in something called Masters of Air and the BBC's Jamie Johnson FC. He's a series regular there, so you may recognize him from that. Wonderful actor. Absolutely wonderful. He plays villainous really well. I have an idea who I think he's going to play, and that is in part due to his physical appearance as well as his previous roles and his acting experience and what he excels at. We'll cover that in the spoiler section of the video. But yeah, so he's going to be in season 3, and this is, again, not official. Take it with a small little itty bitty grain of salt. It comes from WOTSERIES.com. It's not officially released by the Wheel of Time or Sony or Amazon, but they're always right. So I have no doubt that this is an amazing casting. And Cameron Jack is a wonderful actor. He's going to be a great addition to the show as far as I'm concerned. I can't wait to see what he does on the screen. So the next one is another actress who is, again, a wonderful addition to the Wheel of Time, Anne Agbomo. You probably recognize her right away from Wonder Woman, Justice League. She was in Sandman. She's been in a ton of different stuff. She's a big name, folks. Like, this is a huge get for the Wheel of Time as far as I'm concerned. The amount of talented people they're cramming together in this show is wild to me. It's right from season 1. Pretty much everybody on the show not only can act, but they can act. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're really, really good. So she's a trained actress. So she graduated from the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Arts, incredibly prestigious school. She graduated from Middlesex University with a degree in theater arts. She earned her master's in community arts from Goldsmiths College. She's a postgraduate award in teaching Shakespeare from the University of Warwick. I mean, the lady has a ton of experience. I don't know what to say other than the fact that I'm pretty excited for the cast of the Wheel of Time for season 3, because a lot of really talented people are coming to the show. Now, she has done TV, she's done movies, she's done a lot of stage acting. She is very talented, and I have an idea who I think she's going to play as well. Again, we'll save that for the spoiler section of the video because I don't want to ruin anything for you folks. But I just want to voice my excitement for some of the cast members that are coming into season 3. Some of the ones I've already released, like Shoro Dishlu as Elida, I released that last season. Isabella Bukhari as Fail, I released that last year as well. There's a lot of very, very talented people coming to the next season, and I, for one, am very excited. Now, I'm going to bring up a couple of pictures here that a user over on Blue Sky had posted, and he gave me some permission to utilize them here in the channel. So let's bring them up. All right, so this comes to us from Phil C. That's how we want to be credited. I've left a link to his Blue Sky down below in the description box, as well as the Reddit post that he created with these images. But when he was at MalcureCon, he decided to go take a look at this site where they filmed the Two Rivers stuff for season 3 and season 1 as well. It was the same site, they just rebuilt it. And he said it was pretty empty. There was not much there. Like, he took a look around. He said they found some rubber props, so some rubber Palisade tent poles, some production masking tape with some indications of camera numbers and etc., but not much else. He said the site was pretty well cleaned. There was not a whole lot there. Took a couple of pictures, and Two Rivers is gone, folks. I mean, it is not there anymore. Now, before anyone starts panicking about the fact that the Two Rivers set is no longer there, I will let you know that at the end of season 1, they tore it down, and it was not there in between seasons because they didn't really use it for season 2, but they were filming for season 3, of course, there, so they rebuilt it. They basically started from scratch and rebuilt the whole thing, because a lot of times for these sets, if they're not going to be used fairly often, it's cheaper to tear them down and rebuild them than it would be to perhaps store them or keep them on site and pay the rental fees to have them there, especially if you're only using them every couple of years. In this case, I think it was like the 3 or 4 years in between before they were filming. So don't panic, that's not there. And to be totally fair, after these particular scenes that are going to be filmed for season 3 in the Two Rivers, which we'll talk about again in the spoiler section, there's not a whole lot of Two Rivers in the book series. Very easily sidestepped and cut out after that, I think. So will we be going back to Two Rivers later on? I don't think so. I think this may be it. But again, we'll talk about that in the spoiler section of the video. Speaking of which, folks, now we're going to jump into that spoiler section of the video because we are going to talk about the castings that I think they're going to reveal at CCXP. We're going to talk about what I think we're going to see in season 3 as far as the 2 cast members that WOTSERIES.com released. We're going to talk just about this Two Rivers stuff and what I think it means for season 3, and as well as a few other things here and there. So all spoilers from this point on. So spoiler warning: if you have not read the first 5 books of Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time series, that's the Eye of the World through the Fires of Heaven, and if you have not seen the first 2 seasons of the Wheel of Time show streaming on Prime Video, be forewarned, I may ruin plot points, character arcs from both of those mediums. Yeah, I'm going to ruin stuff. It's just the way it is. So you've been warned. All right, folks, welcome to the spoiler part of the video again. You've been warned. Anything up to and including the Fires of Heaven, Book 5, Wheel of Time, I'm going to ruin here. Because I want to talk about some stuff, folks. So what are we going to see at CCXP? Well, we've already touched on this. I think we're going to see definitely some castings. We'll talk about those now. I think we're going to see the Aiel castings in the Waste. We're definitely going to see people like Amis, Melindra, Bear, Ruark, Savannah, Couladin. I think we're going to see some of those. Maybe we won't, but I think we're going to. I can definitely say with confidence they are in season 3. That's all I'll say. Won't talk about who's going to play the characters, but they're in season 3. I'll tell you that for now. I think we may also see some other castings revealed. Possibly, I think we're going to see Elida revealed, which I revealed here in the channel, Shora Gishalu. I think we'll see Fail probably. It's Isabella Vocari. I think we'll probably see some other Andorran castings, like Magrin, things of that nature. I think we're going to see people like that. Queen Morgaze. We will see these probably. Maybe not at CCXP, but I think we're going to see them as a reveal day, either at the con or during that time frame when they start really ramping up and revealing things. I'm not saying we're going back to Wheel of Time Wednesdays. Not saying that. I'm hoping. I'm really, really hoping that we do. So we don't see a ton of castings revealed at CCXP. I have been told that they are going to do a day with probably some Aiel castings. They're going to do a day with some Andor castings. They're going to regroup them, and then we're going to get some castings before season 3 drops. May not be at CCXP. I think some will. I think we're going to get a couple, but I think we're definitely going to get these castings prior to the release of season 3, which I'm very excited about. That makes me really happy. What else is going to be there? Well, I've been told they're probably going to show a substantial chunk of one of the episodes. I think that is likely. Don't know if they're going to actually stream it or show it live to people, or it'll just be in the audience. But I think we're going to see the beginnings of the first episode. I think we'll see Rand and Egwene and Moraine and Lan heading to the Waste. I think we will see them meeting with some of the Aiel. That's what I think we're going to see at CCXP, and that'll lead into maybe a couple of the castings for the Aiel from that time. And I'm pretty excited with some of these castings, folks. There's some really good people that are joining the cast for season 3 that we haven't talked about yet, nor will we, because I've been asked not to, but we're in for a treat. Next, I want to talk about this. Alexander Krim. So this is something that I am adamant. I've been adamant since day one that they need to do. I think the dragon needs to have the voices in his head. It's not something they can cut out or kind of sidestep around. I'm interested to see how they handle it, whether they're going to say it's real, whether they're going to say it's his past lives, or if it's madness, or if it's whatnot. They're going to say more true to the book, or if they're going to go in a different direction. I don't know. I'm really, really, really hoping that this is a staple going forward for the rest of the series, season 4 and beyond. We hear a lot of Alexander Krim talking to Rand. In the book series, Rand does a ton of stuff he just does stuff. He doesn't know where it comes from. He just does something and then he remembers how to do it. I'm hoping we get more of a teaching moment between the dragons on screen to show that he's being taught some things. That's what I hope anyway. I think we're going to start seeing these voices prior to going to Rodian. That's my guess anyway. I'm not 100% sure. We know Rodian's in season 3. We know we're going that place, but it's my hope anyway. All right, so now we're going to talk about this gentleman right here. Promise to tell you who I think he is. And Cameron Jack, I believe, is going to play Forsaken in the next season. And I believe he's going to play one of our short king Forsakens. He's 5'7", so just saying, I think he's likely going to be playing Samael. I think that's who we're going to see him play. Just a guess, folks. Not 100% on that. He's about my height, so I always root for them. Like, come on, big name, let's go. I would love to see him play Samuel. I think he'd be perfect for the role, personally, considering some of the other things he's played and how he plays villains. I think it would be a whole lot of fun to watch him on screen just being angry the whole time, just being absolutely terrible. Now, considering the fact that he also filmed in South Africa as well as in Prague, and that would mean that he filmed in the waste scenes as well as likely some of the either tower and or scenes as well. I think there's going to be some amalgamations of characters going on there. I don't think we're going to see every Forsaken next season. I don't think we're going to see every Forsaken during the course of the show. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to take certain elements of some and kind of cram them together, but I really want to see Samael. And WOTSERIES.com has already speculated heavily on their website in some of the previous scripts that have been released that perhaps Samael is going to be in the third season because of the way things are written. And I can tell you with assurance that I felt the same way when I read those leaked audition scripts. And I think Cameron Jack would be the perfect person to play him. Now, I'm going to talk just a bit about Anne. Who's she going to play? Well, Anne Ogbomo she's an actress. She is a wonderful actress, and I would like to see a role that stays forever, for a very long time. However, big actresses and big actors may not have fully reoccurring roles on the show for a bunch of different reasons, because it's hard. There's only 2 years in between. They have to be available. They have to keep coming back. So I want her to play something big and be there forever because she is so good. But that's not entirely a reason. Pretty sure that she filmed in South Africa. South Africa filmed scenes of the Aiel, the Age of Legends, scenes of Tenchico. So it's possible that she is a new character we meet in Tenchico. That's what WOTSERIES is speculating. Or Maiden of the Spear, an Aes Sedai. I personally think that she is going to be one of the ones we're going to see in some of the flashbacks during Rodian. That's my guess anyway. She's going to play a very pivotal and important role in those. I may not be right. I may be totally out to lunch, completely wrong here. But I would like to think that that's what she's going to be playing. I want to see her play a pivotal, important character for the rest of the series because she is such a good actress. However, because she's such a good actress, I don't think she will, which is unfortunate for us. So that is pretty much everything I wanted to go through as far as spoilers go. Now, for those of you who stayed for spoilers, you get the little rundown of what I'm going to be doing next. I should have done this earlier. I'm terrible at splitting the spoilers, not spoilers. It's new to me, folks. I'm sorry. I need more coffee. So, in the next coming months, we're going to get a teaser. It's going to happen. I'll be doing a video on the teaser when it comes out, for sure. And that video is going to be excessively long. I'm going to go back to the days of you folks that followed me from inception. When I first started the channel, there was a 3-second clip of Moraine. I did an over an hour long video on that. I was just foolish. You're going to see more of that when it comes to the trailer and things like that. I'm just excited for season 3, and I want to talk about it. I'm planning to do a survival guide for season 3 for people who haven't read the books. There's a ton of stuff happening in season 3 that, it's easy to digest if you just go with the flow. But for people who want to know more and backstory and in-depth histories and things like that, we'll talk a bit about the Sea Folk. We'll talk more about the Aiel, do a video on them as well. We'll talk a bit about the Age of Legends. We'll talk a bit about the One Power. The One Power is one I want to really do a video on. I've done a couple here in the channel, but I really want to do a good one because I'm a huge fan of hard magic systems, and by that, they have hard and fast rules. This is how it is. That's how it is. It's how I'm built. I like rules. I like order. I like knowing what can and can't be done. I super enjoy that in a book series. Wheel of Time's pretty good at that for the most part, and whenever they kind of flub it up a little bit, it's more the unreliable narrators, why things can't be done or whatnot. So the show, much less so. There's rules. They've been mentioned, but they're not hard and fast rules, and they've been kind of bent and almost broken on screen in some cases and ignored. So we're going to do a whole video just on the magic system and how it relates to the show and the book series and what the differences are and what I like to see for that. I want to do a full speculation video on what we're seeing in season 3. At this point, with the amount of spoilers that I have, especially considering some of the leaks that I haven't released yet and may never release, it's a difficult one for me to do without giving away too much, but there's a lot of things I still have to guess at for the season. I haven't seen it, nor will I, prior to release, likely, so I love the speculation videos. I just like talking about them. Part and parcel to that, I think you're going to start seeing some of your favorite content creators also be a little bit more engaged with the Wheel of Time this year round. Now, the new marketing team that I mentioned earlier, they are absolutely fantastic from everyone I've heard about, and they totally want to bring the community into this, from what I've heard. And so I would fully expect that some of the bigger content creators and even some of the smaller ones will likely have interviews and roles. Just we've seen a little bit of it for season 2 and season 1, but not a huge amount. I think you're going to see more of that for season 3. Unfortunately, I've reached out. So my history with the marketing team for Sony and Amazon's Wheel of Time has been not great. So this is a public plea. Please give me an interview, give me screeners, something. I'll sign whatever you want at this point. Just to get a little bit more information on the show. I want to be a part of this. So for season 1, reached out to them, flat out told me they wouldn't work with me. It would not happen because of the nature of the channel and deal with leaks. Totally understand that. I get it. Season 2, radio silence. Never even got back to me. I've reached out a couple of times so far for season 3. Again, radio silence, kind of crickets. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I plan on reaching out again probably in the next few days. Just kind of reiterating the question. Like, give me an answer, yes or no, if I can be part of this or not. But even if I'm not, I'm hearing all kinds of rumors from other people, other content creators that are kind of rumbling about sort of kind of being involved a little bit here and there, and I'm excited to see that stuff. So folks, I will cover that here on the channel too, but I want to make a promise to you folks. If another content creator gets an interview, if another content creator goes on set or gets anything, and they talk about it officially, I will not be giving a Cole's Notes version of the interview. Will not be giving a Cole's Notes version of what they did. I will celebrate the fact that they got something done, that they're very, very excited about it, that they got this cool thing, and I'll give you a link to their channel or their Instagram or their TikTok or whatever platform they're on and say, go there and watch this. Subscribe to them, support them. And I'll just be excited with them, if that makes any sense. So there will be some other content creators covering stuff. I won't cover their stuff here just because it's not fair. I mean, I don't want to take away from things that they get and rehash here in the channel all the time. But if they get anything official, we'll definitely celebrate it. We'll talk about it. And we'll point you in the right direction, folks. So if you don't follow some of these people, we'll make sure you do by the time season 3 drops. So there's that. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this, folks. We're getting close. It's almost the holiday season here in Canada, where I'm from, and I go on vacation mid-December, and there's going to be a lot of time to make videos when I'm on vacation. so you'll see a few from me this week. You'll see a few from me over the next couple of weekends. But mid-December, that's really when I'm going to kick things to high gear. You're going to see a ton from me because I'll be on vacation, and I'll be sitting in the house, hopefully, with a snowstorm outside, making videos, drinking some Tim Hortons coffee, and just enjoying myself. I'm excited for that. So anyway. It's been a long video. I ramble a lot. Thank you so much for kind of putting up with me. It's been a great time. It's been a few weeks since I made videos, so I wanted to get it all out. I enjoy this so much. Again, tell some of your friends. Spread it around. We'll talk about What Up a little bit. See if we can get that 25,000 subscribers prior to season 3 dropping. We will do a giveaway. So For those of you who don't know, I do have a fourth wall site. I don't advertise it here on the channel much because I don't really want to push my merch onto people, but it is a link down below in the description box. What's great about that site is I can pick someone and just send stuff from that site. People buy things, I build up credit, and then I use that to send things out. So I think we'll do a giveaway. If I hit 25,000 before I go on the site right now, I think I have like a toque. I'm not calling it a beanie, folks. I'm Canadian. It's a toque. I have a hoodie, I have a t-shirt, mugs, things like that. Sure, I think I might make something special. Maybe make something a little bit different that's not available for public purchase and use that as a giveaway. If there's anything you folks want, let me know in the comments down below. What you would like for that giveaway. But when I hit 25,000, I'm going to do a giveaway for sure. I think it'd be a good time to do that. All right. Thank you all very much for sticking with me here to the very end. Here's to many more.